Alright, so you remember we talked about triangles. What they are and what they are composed of, right? Basically the triangle, what it is just a shape with three sides, right? We do have right triangles, they have a 90-degree angles. We do have isosceles triangles, which they have two sides that are equal with each other. We have equilateral triangles, all of the sides are equal with each other. Now, just a recap, what's the sum of angles in a triangle?
180.
180. Alright. Also, there's three lines that are important in a triangle. We learn about actually in an angle, but this is now applied in a triangle. So we learn about the bisector. What do the bisector does?
The bisector, it splits the angle in half.
It splits the angle in half. So if here it was initially 90 degrees, alright, so if here initially was 90 degrees, the bisector split it into what? Into 45 and 45, right?
Yeah.
Alright, now other than the bisector, we do have a height. The thing about the height of a triangle is that when it falls, it forms also a 90-degree angle. That's it. The height just forms a 90-degree angle on the sides that falls into. Alright?
Alright.
And now the last important line that we talk about is the median. Now the median is simple. If a bisector splits the angle into two, the median splits the side that falls into two parts equal of each other.
Okay.
Alright, so now the funny part of geometry starts. We're gonna learn about some properties. First, we have the, I don't know, let's call it height formula. Suppose you have a right triangle. Again, a right triangle, what it means? It has a 90-degree angles, right? Now, what's this side called? What's this side? It's a hypotenuse or it's just a leg?
It's just a leg.
Okay, this one is a leg. Then this one, what it is?
Also a leg.
Also leg. Then this one is?
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. Alright. Now again, you take the height of this triangle, which starts from the 90-degree angles, ends up on a hypotenuse, and it forms a 90-degree angles too. So that's the height. Alright, so the first formula that we need to know is that height in a right triangle, it will be equal with first leg times the second leg over the hypotenuse. As an example, let's suppose that this is 5, this is 6, and this is 12. Then the height is going to be 5 times 6 over 12, which is 30 over 12, and if we use the calculator, how much it is?
13 over 12?
Yeah.
Let me pull out my calculator. 30 divided by 12. 2.5.
2.5. Alright. Now, that's the first theory. That's the first formula of a height. We also have a new formula. Again, think of you have a right triangle too, and we're gonna note it A, B, and C. We get the height of it, so from 90-degree angles to the hypotenuse, and we call it K. Now, the second formula for a height in a right triangle is that BK, which is our height, to the second power is going to be AK times the whole hypotenuse times AC. So that's the second rule of a height. We do have the first, which height is equal to leg times leg over hypotenuse, and also height to the second power is going to be equal with, hold on, I think I do a mistake here. I think I do a mistake. And most probably, yes, I'm stupid. But let me just check it. Am I stupid? So BC. Yeah, I'm stupid. Don't use that. was something. Oh yeah, yeah, right. I remember now. So okay. Anyway. All right. So just remember the last part. So the high fury is just one leg times another leg over hypotenuse, and there was another formula which I don't remember. I will look for it and I will tell you. All right. Anyway, we're gonna solve exercise and we'll need to use that one. Other than that, we do have a formula for the leg. Now, again, same thing. Imagine that you have a right triangle. Let's suppose it's here. We're going to note it A, B, and C. We get the height of it, which is 90 degrees. Now, imagine that this is like a pen, right? And when you hold this pen on this angle in real life, it's gonna form a shadow on the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that shadow is going to be this, right? Again, imagine that this thing, the green one, is like a pen, and you hold it on an angle from the table, right? Then if a light comes from this one, it's gonna form a shadow, the red one. Now that shadow in math is called projection. Projection. Projections. I don't know. I think this is the term in English too. Let's call it projection. Now, we do have a theory of a lag, which tells you that AB to the second power, which is our lag, is going to be equal with BK, which is our projections, times the whole hypotenuse. Now, AC to the second power also is going to be equal with its projection. What's the projections of AC to this? It's KC, right? The projection of AC is KC. So KC, KFC anyway, times the whole hypotenuse. So that's actually, so today at this lesson we're gonna learn this formula, the formula of a height, and the formula of a lag. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Alright. Okay, so let's start with the first one. We do have a right triangle. A, B, and C. And it's right in this point. In A, it has a 90 degree angle. We do have a height, which is AD. So here's D. You know that BD is 4 centimeters. So BD is going to be 4 centimeters. We need to find out AD, knowing that DC, it will be 8 centimeters. So we need to find AD. Alright, so what do we do here?
AD, okay. If we know that BD is 4 centimeters and DC is 8 centimeters, I guess we can calculate the. So we know a leg. I guess we can try getting the hypotenuse to then do like to calculate hypotenuse minus a leg.
Alright, so here's that formula when I told you, but I forgot it. Remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the height we do have 2 formulas. This one, it was the first. So height equals with first leg times the second leg over hypotenuse. Also there's another formula. The height, so BK to the second power, is going to be equal with AK times KS. Alright? So
not plus times.
times, yeah.
So we can do 4 to the power just 4 times 8. That'll give us BK to the power 2.
Yeah, so you know that BD is 4, DC is 8, so 8.
Multiply is 32. And then the square root of 32 is huh. No, it's not 6, not 5. Is there no square root?
Yeah, that is. So 32, you can
Wait,
write it
can we
as.
just simplify it into
Yeah,
a
you
small
can
number?
simplify it 16 times 2, right?
The square root of both, or yeah.
Yeah, square root
And
of
then
both. And square root
and
of
then
16 is
square root of 16 is 4.
4, square root of 2. So that's the answer.
Okay.
Alright? Okay,
So
let's.
our height is 4 to the square root of 2.
Yeah, the height AD is 4 square root of 2.
Okay.
Actually, we're gonna do something similar. So again, we do have a right triangle ABC. We do have a height. So how many degrees does a height forms when it falls? Here, how many degrees are?
90.
90. So we denote it like that. Same thing. You know that BD is 4. And we need to find the height AD, knowing that DC it will be 10.
Okay. Yeah, if BD is 4 and so it's the same thing. AD squared
Hold on,
equals
BC,
what?
DC, I forgot, it's DC, not BD,
Oh.
DC, okay? So AD,
So AD squared equals 4 times 10,
4 times 10, yeah.
which is 40. And then the square root of 40 is no, 6 times, yeah. Okay, so we simplify it into we can what can we simplify?
Think about of two numbers. So when you're gonna, you think about two numbers, when you multiply them
20 times 2?
yeah, but you cannot take the root of 20 and you cannot take the root of
Oh.
2.
Okay, no, you can't take the root of 410, you can't take the root of 22, you can't take the root of 40.
What do you mean you cannot take the root of 4?
So it's 10 4 again.
Yeah, so it's 4 times 10.
Okay. And then the square root of 4 is 2.
So 2 square root of 10.
Okay.
Alright? Okay, let's do the same exactly thing, but now the DC is going to be 20.
Okay. Okay, so AD squared equals 4 times 20, which is 80.
Now AD is going to
And
be.
then the square root of 80 is... Yeah, we can bring it back to 20 times 4, and we can take the square root of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we're left with AD equals 4 times square root of 20.
So it's 2
2
times
times,
square
yeah.
root of 20. And you can also break 20 into two parts, into 4 times 5.
And 4 times 5 is no square root of 4 is 2, so you'd have 2 times 2 times square root of 5.
And the answer is 4 square root of 5, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, now same thing for third one. Again, right triangle. A, B, and C, and we do have a height D. Now you know that BD is how much? 4. And DC is square root of 7. Again, you need to find the height. AD is going to be
okay. AD is 4 times square root of 7.
yeah
No,
4.
no. Yeah, and then we can simplify 7 to 4 times. No, no, that's
By the way, did we? Yeah, we did. So AD to the second power is 4 times square root of 7. Now only AD is going to be the root of 4 times square root of 7. Hold on, did we do that here? Yeah, we did. Which means AD will be?
AD would be 2 times square root of 7.
Times square root of square root of 7.
Square root of 7.
Yeah. Alright.
How would that even work? Like, first you take the square root of 7, and then you take the square root of 7 again?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so you take the square root of 7, and then you take that number and square it again.
Yeah. So first you take the square root of 7, which is going to give you 2 point something. Then you take the square root of 2 point something.
Okay.
Alright. Next one. Actually, the next one is this entire thing, but I think we'll just solve it step by step. Let's go with case A. Okay?
Yeah.
Case A.
AD square. Well, we know that BD is 2 centimeters and DC is 8 centimeters. So for the first one, wait, what? This is a triangle. So we're just solving each one.
ABC is a right triangle. Draw a right triangle, and the right angle is A, so it's here. AD is the height, so it's here. Find AD knowing that BD is 2, DC is 8. Yeah, actually it's kind of the same thing. So BD is 2, DC is 8. Now find the AD.
The 80?
Yeah.
Okay, AD squared equals B equals 2 times 8, which is 16. So AD squared equals 16. And then the square root of 16 is 4.
Okay, so that's case A. Now case B.
Case B.
Yeah.
Same thing except it's AD squared equals 5 times 125. Which is like 625, yeah, 625. And then the square root of 625 is 15.
Are you sure? Isn't 25?
Oh yeah, it is.
Maybe, I don't know. Check it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Check it.
Is that either 50? Okay.
No, 15 is 225. Yeah, it's 25. It's either 25
Yeah,
or
it's
30.
25. Yeah, it's 25. I checked.
Okay, see? Let's go, mate. I promise you, we do have like 12 exercises and we'll be done.
Okay.
So KC.
Okay, AD squared equals 4 times 5, which is 20. Then square root of 20 is, we can't give the square root of 20, so we have to simplify it into 4 times 5 again.
Yeah.
And then the square root of 4 would be square root of 4 would be 2, so we would have 2 times square root of 5.
Okay,
That'd
now
be
last
right.
case D.
And then okay, square root of 2 times square root of 8 gives us AD squared. So then we put them all in the same square root. So one big square root, 2 times 8. And then we can simplify 8
Is 16,
into
right? 2 times
4
8 is
times
16. Now
Yeah.
8 is to the power 2. Square root of 16 is 4, right?
Yeah.
And only AD is going to be square root of 4, which is?
2.
Which is 2. Okay. Free?
3 BD's height, find AD and DC length. So if BD is 4 centimeters,
So
we
the
have to
height is
find-
4 centimeters, right?
Yeah. So AD is 4 centimeters, and we're trying to find out.
Hold on.
We're trying to find
BD
out-
is 4. BD
Yeah,
is 4.
and then we have to find out what DC or CD is, which would give us the answer.
So for the case A, you know that DC is 8 centimeters. So this part is 8 centimeters. This one is 4. You need to find AD.
80?
Yeah. But again, you can just use that formula, right? So BD, the height to the second power, is going to be equal with AD times DC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you know the height, right?
Yeah.
So 4 to the second power is going to be equal with AD times DC is 8. 16 is going to be equal with AD times 8, which means AD is going to be equal with 16 over 8, which is 2.
Okay.
Alright? So now let's solve for case B. Now the DC is 10. Same thing.
Okay. So AD squared. Well, BD squared. I mean.
BD, because
squared,
BD is the height.
Yeah. BD squared equals AD times 8.
AD times DC. Alright?
Okay.
Now, next.
BD, so we plug in the number. DC would be 10. So BD squared.
Actually, DC remains as 4. In the problem, we still is that BD is 4. So BD is 4 to the second power.
So BD is 4. DC is the no, and we're trying to find out what DC. Okay, I'm just.
Man, we find out AD now. You're gonna
Okay.
find AD. So AD.
Yeah. AD times 10.
Times 10.
16 times AD times 10.
16 equals AD times 10, which means AD is going to be
it'd have to be maybe like
16 over 10, which is
16 over 10 is let me just, can I use my calculator? No, wait, can we just put it, make it
alright. So look,
so it would be 8 over 5.
Yeah, but look, when you divide by 10 or any numbers that ends in a 0, like 10, 100,
Yeah.
1000, 10,000, and so on, if you divide it, so the point is here, right? Now, if you divide, you move a point to the left side. We have 1 0, so it means we're gonna move a point 1 digit to the right side. So we're gonna end up in 1.6. If we had 16 divided by 100, then we will have moved a point 2 digits to the left. So 1 times, 2
1
times.
times 0,
So it's going to be
1.06.
0.16. Alright?
Okay.
But if we have 10, we just move it 1 digit, so it's just 1.6. Alright? Let's try case C now. Okay?
KC. Okay, I mean C. BD squared times AD times DC
Okay, so BD square
times AD times DC.
equals with AD times DC.
Yeah. And then if we plug it, so we would have 4 squared equals AD times 20, and then so AD equals 16 over 20.
Divide by
Which
2,
would,
simplify by 2.
okay, 8 over 10.
8 over 10, which is
8 over 10 is 8 0.8.
0.8. Yeah, so 0.8. Alright? Because you just move 1 digit, so it's 0.8. Now, last case, D.
Square root of 7, right? So BD squared equals AD times DC, which equals BD squared. No, yeah. So 4 squared equals AD times square root of 7. And then square AD AD equals 16 over square root of 7.
Yeah, but keep in mind, never we can allow on a button to be a
So we
square
have
root,
to
right?
simplify it.
It doesn't, we need to amplify it actually. So we
So
amplify it with square root of 7.
by 7. So then it would be I'm not doing all. Wait, actually no, it's not. It's not that bad. So 70 and then 6 times 7 is 42.
Come on, you
15.
cannot multiply 16 times 7, square root of 7. Because square root of 7 is under the square root, 16 is not. So you cannot, so you just write it as 6
So we just write as 16
times
over
square root of
7.
7. Yeah.
So
And
times
below, look what happens. You have,
square root of 7, and then you get rid of both 7. So now you just have to have 16.
no, we have square root of 7 times square root of 7,
And
which
the
is
square root of
square root of 49, right? Which is
and
simply
this.
7.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
Alright. Now we do have this big table to complete. Let's do like this, and we're gonna come back to it and complete it. Alright? So, we do have a triangle, ABC. Let's draw it. This is our triangle, A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Now you know that AD, you know what this sign means?
AD.
This side, like this thing. Hop, hop.
Um, yeah, I remember you teaching me about it, but I kind of forgot.
Yeah, so this side means is perpendicular. Perpendicular is just a fancy word saying it forms a 90-degree angle. Okay?
It's at a 90-degree angle from the original angle.
Yeah, it just forms a 90 degree. So AD is perpendicular with BC, which means when it falls, so here it's a 90-degree angle. Alright? Now let's complete this. Okay, so this thing is all messed up. So 2, 8, 27. Yeah, this thing is messed up. Alright. Alright, so let's start case A. You know that BD is, actually don't know BD. You know DC is 63. You know that BC is 70. And you need to find BD. And you need to find AD. Alright. I think it's easier to find BD. It's straight up. So you know the whole BC, you just need to minus something and you find BD. Look, BC. So you see, BC this whole thing. So from here to here. So you have that BC is 70. Now you also know that DC, so this from here to here, it's 63. That means DC, BD, how much is going to be?
Is going to be wait, what? So if DC is 63 and BC is 70, then it would just be 70 minus 63, which would be 7.
Which is B7. Yeah, and now find AD.
AD, so AD squared equals 70 times 7.
First step, BD times DC. Alright? So AD squared equals BD 7 times DC 63.
Now, AD squared equals. Can I use the calculator for this?
Sure.
Okay, 63 times 7. 441.
And I think the square root of this thing is 21. I think, I'm not sure.
Okay, square root of 401.
441.
Yeah, 441. Square root 21. Yeah, it's 21.
Yeah. Alright, same thing, case B now. So for the case B, you know that BD is 8. You know that BC is 26. And you need to find DC and AD. Come on, DC is going to be equal with?
DC. Okay, DC equals with. Wait. BD is 8. BC. Oh, so 26 minus 8.
26 minus 8, which is?
26 minus 8 is 18.
18. Alright, so you find DC is 18. Now, next, AD.
AD squared equals BD uh BD times D times 18.
Times DC.
Yeah.
So AD square is going to be?
AD squared is going to be, okay, BD is 8, so 8 times 18. And 18 times 8, 80, 8 times 64, 80, 140, 144. And then the square root of 144 is 12.
Cool. Alright, so KC. You know that DC is 16. You know that AD is 12. You need to find BD. And you need to find BC.
Okay, so we need to first find BD.
There's
So
no way we can find it. So you just need to use the Hight theory again.
oh, it's what's leg times leg.
No, not actually, because you don't know BA and you don't know AC and you know.
So then what Hight theory?
Come on, the one that we use right now. So AD to the second power, the height to the second power is going to be.
It's going to be it's going to be BD times DC.
Yeah, BD times DC. I'll just plot the numbers.
AD squared equals,
You know AD.
now 12 squared equals BD times 16. And so BD equals 144 divided by 16,
Which is?
which is 144 divided by 16, 9.
Okay, it's 9. Okay, so we found BD, no BC.
Okay, BC would be 9. Wait, what? BC, yeah, it's 9. So now we can solve it. So AD squared.
What do you mean? What do you wanna do? You need to find BC. You know that BD is 9 and you also know that DC is 16. You just need to add them.
Oh, for 25.
25, okay. Alright, so case D. Same thing. Now you know that BD is 27. You know that AD is 12. You need to find DC and you need to find BC.
AD squared equals BD squared times DC squared.
It's just BD times DC without a square.
Okay. 12 squared equals 27 times DC.
Next.
Next, DC equals 144 divided by 27.
Divided by what?
27.
27. Okay. How much that is?
Um. Okay. 144. Okay. 144 divided by 27. 5.333333333.
Seriously? 144?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 5.3 imperial. Okay. Now what? So BC.
BC is 5.3333333.
Oh, come on. You know that BD is 27? You know that this is 5.3. So BC is just the sum. 27 plus 5.3.
So, uh, 32.3.
32.33333, which is called a period. Okay?
Okay.
So you know that now BD is 0.2, DC is 5. Again, you need to find ABC and AD.
Uh, um, AD squared equals BD, times, DC. Um, okay, AD, okay, so, we're gonna have, so we're still gonna keep it as AD squared equals, 0.2 times 5, which is 1. So AD squared equals 1. And you can't take the square root of 1. And you can't simplify 1.
Come on, square root of 1 is
1.
yeah. Now BC.
BC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, BC would just be 0, wait, 1 plus 5? Or 0.2 plus 5?
BC is this thing plus this thing.
Yeah. So, it was, and since,
0.2 plus 5.
uh,
Now BC is
that's just 5.2.
5.2. Yeah. You know that BD is 1.5, BC is 6.5. Find DC and find AD.
Okay, AD, no, AD squared equals, BD,
BD.
BD, times, BD times, BC, sorry, or DC, and, DC, so AD squared equals 1.5 times 6.5.
You don't know DC.
Oh.
You know BC. So if you know BC and BD, you can find DC. How much it will be?
DC equal. But we don't know AD.
Yeah, but you know that BC, this whole thing is 6.5, and you know that BD is 1.5, which means you can find DC.
So it's just 5.
Yeah, it's just 5. 6.5 minus 1.5, which is just 5. Right. And now you can find AD. AD to the second power is
AD to the second power is a 5 times no, it's 5 times 1.5.
first save the letters, okay? So BD times DC, AD square is 1.5 times 5. Alright, so AD square is
AD squared is 1.5 times 5, and that's just uh point point no 5. So then like 7.5.
you use the calculator.
Nope, just my brain. Because point 0.5 times 5 is 2.5, so 2.5 plus yeah.
Okay. Which
Maybe I'm
means
right. Maybe I'm not.
yeah,
Is it
you're right.
correct?
You're right.
So AD is the square root of 7.5, which we cannot get it. So we can we?
We
No, we can't.
can, we can, we can, we can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we can use like. I'm pretty sure that we can simplify somehow. Like taking 2.5 times 3. And I think we can take the root of 2.5, I think, but I'm not sure. Huh. Yeah, just leave it like that. 7.5. Alright. Fifth. We do have a right triangle.
Okay.
Here's the right angle. We get the height. We're gonna denote by height by x. Here's 3. Here's 12. Find x.
Oh. Height is just um find so x equals 12 times 3.
X to the second power equals
X
12.
to the second power equals 12 times 3.
Yeah.
Okay, 12 times 3 is 36, so x to the square root is 36. No, x times I can't think. X to the power of 2 equals 36, and square root of 36 is uh 6.
Yeah, square root of 666. Alright. Next. Same thing, we do have a right triangle. We have
right triangle.
we have a height which is 3. Here is 2. Here's y. Find y.
Okay, y equals 3 divided by 2.
So again,
Yeah.
no, it's 3 to the second power equals with 2 times y.
And then 3 to the second power is 9, so y over no y 9 times y, and then y equals 9 divided by 2.
Which is
4.5.
4.5. Alright, man. I think we're done.
Okay.
Right. So see you tomorrow.